hopefully you guys are out. Looks like at 2 o'clock, 2 to 3 o'clock, but really toward right around the 2 o'clock mark, and that would have put us at, so a little bit off, right? But with that said, we had this fast sudden move higher marking the end of the rotation. A little bit of a declining rotation, but still somewhat rotation. Fast sudden move higher there, and then we should see like a sideways fluctuating decline that precedes a rally here in the last hour. Tomorrow, another tricky day as far as chart behavior and overall direction. But my sense is that we probably go higher. I was thinking lower, but I'm not sure if in my dailies I said lower open on the 9th or higher, but my sense is that we go higher. Right, and then there's this easily missed, brief and easily missed crest that we sell off from pretty notably. We revisit the high, the midday high again in this erratic behavior, and then it looks like declining into the end of the day. Not necessarily. Because we have Ace of Discs energy here at the end of the day as well. We have it at the beginning of the day, mid part of the day, end of the day. But we also have the correlation to the crest that we sell off from down to and through support. Matter of fact, it's probably, I think we're going to have a little bit of a haywire morning with that Fool card. So we probably open higher, have a sharp decline around the open, and then we rally into a crest or peak there midday is what I think probably will take place. But the fact that we have the Aeon card in the high position, it is possible to see a high at the end of the day. There's a couple of things leading me to believe that, but this isn't well placed. This could be hinting at a high at the end, meaning on the board for me. When something lands here in the S&P 500, like sticky note of the date, that indicates something in itself. Hey guys. Hey Trading Altitudes. Hey Conrad. Hey Winesso. Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to happen, Conrad. I did. Yeah, so in the reading, I think I probably said we open lower tomorrow, but I think what happens, I'm picking up on it now based on, this is just, maybe I missed the the Empress card opportunity here at the end of the day. I don't know, but there's a lot of correlation, the orange to the Ace of Cups here at the end of the day. So if we have a decline here into like the last 20 minutes, that would lead me to believe that it's an opportunity, and we see a higher price level in the morning. Sorry guys, I had something start playing in my ear. There's either we either open higher and then there's a sharp drop there, or we do open lower, one of the two. But that ace of, or excuse me, that Fool card there really is indicating opportunity, probably to get into a long position and close that long position in this peak or crest that we have probably around noontime. Not so sure we have a high at the end of the day, guys. I might have said that a little bit earlier in this, but looking at it now, I'm not so sure about that. This orange correlation here does hint at it, but I think probably that I should go by this little labradorite here, which is indicating a significant trade, probably from this peak or crest. You could open up a short position and close the short position there at the end of the day. Matter of factly, so yeah. And then over the weekend, it goes pretty. I think we have a pretty significant gap down over the weekend. We opened pretty low on the 12th. Interesting. Well, that would make sense. So we open at a price level on the 12th that's a low, and it's the Princess of Swords. So an opportunity to position oneself in both directions, meaning that we'll see a notably higher price level and a notably lower price level in relation to this resistance level that we see in the pre-market. And when we think about it in terms of the 1 month, that it's saying that we could probably make money to the upside and to the downside over the week if we position ourselves correctly there. Meaning that this low at the beginning of the day here on the 12th is not the lowest price level for the week. I think that probably takes place on the 16th. If not, it's the 14th.
Hey, April E. In the June reading, the 8th was going to be the highest high. Did that happen on the 7th or tomorrow?
The way that things have kind of turned out, I think we probably see a higher price level tomorrow. But I wouldn't say that it's the highest high for the month. That I might have misspoken if I said that, because the indication is that we have a highest high here for the month. We might even go higher into like the following month for a little bit, but I'd have to look at it again to be positive. Hey, well, I'm feeling that poor air quality from fires today, and I'm in Manhattan. I don't know if it's on the news out there on the West Coast, but the fires in Canada have been like basically covering the Northeast with smoke. And New York City yesterday, I felt like I was in the movie Mad Max. It was crazy. It was like totally post-apocalyptic, like Burning Man style kind of. Everything had like this orange hue to it.
Hey, Karthikeya Mamidi, welcome. Can we short Tesla?
Let's take a look, my friend. I'd say that that's a safe assessment. We should see a pretty sharp decline off of this pre-move higher, and it looks like another declining day on the 12th. I would probably, if I was gonna short Tesla, which matter of fact, it's not advising me to do so. Come to think of it, I'm not being advised to do so here. But if I did short Tesla here, I probably want to get out midday on the 13th. Mid to late in the day on the 13th, probably midday. Because there is a pretty big move to the upside, ending the sideways rotation. That'll happen here on the 13th. There's a sudden move higher off of a low, probably around the cusp of the 13th, 14th, into a crest there on the 14th. But there is a lot saying like decline on the 9th, decline on the 12th. You have to be careful though, because it's not like there's pieces missing. Eso-Meta doesn't give you everything, right? So where this opens could be a little indeterminate, right? Like we could have a down day and open higher, which might be why there's no trade correlation here on the 8th. No trade correlation advising me to do so. Um, Fifth to the 7th, right? And we got out on the 7th. That would have worked. This is an important resistance level that should be highlighted on like a multi-day scale here for Tesla. I'm gonna mark it off as the Two of Swords, and I do the swords suit in yellow for the element of air. There we go. I think it's probably a then again, I mean, I'm leaning towards not doing it. It looks like you probably could get away with it, but I'm not being advised to do so. And when I look at the overall trend, it's very, very bullish this month for Tesla, so I'd probably want to avoid getting onto the short side. Sorry to just kind of like pull a 180 on you there, but reassessing it with the theme involved. We've got higher to go, I would say. Hopefully I didn't confuse anybody with that. Oh, SPC on the it's a high on the 7th for SPC. SPC for June. Sorry guys, my ADD started daydreaming there. No, I would not short SPC. Well, maybe I would. You could short SPC today and then close out of it tomorrow at a trough early in the day, it looks like. It's a pretty interesting chart for SPC this month. But so far it looks like it's holding pretty solid. We had a low here for the month on the 31st, significantly lower than where we are now. We're seeing a high here on the 8th. We should have a U-shaped dip tomorrow, which is where I'd probably get out of that short position. It's pretty bullish from a trough early in the morning on the 12th. It's pretty bullish into probably a higher, it's the same price level here again. Here around the 12th, 13th. Probably the same resistance is highlighted on both days. I mean, okay, so you could short SPC and hold it longer than the 9th, but I mean, would you necessarily want to do that? The longer you hold a short position, the more speculative it becomes. I mean, the longer you hold a position, period, the more speculative it becomes. But short positions are already speculative. Like, they're called short because you don't want to hold them for long periods of time. They're going counter to the overall trend, at
Siri, I did not say your name.
And what also is a little interesting is I'm not getting any sort of trade correlation in relation to the lowest low. So that could mean one of two things. Either it's really bullish and we don't want to get stuck in a short position this month, or I might just have the low wrong and the low is somewhere else where we're seeing trade correlations, because sometimes that'll happen. I'm not right all the time, guys. The low could actually be here. It's possible on the 26th. If I'm wrong about it, there is possibility of it being on the 26th towards the end of the day.
Hey Robert, Jets still suck. Oh, I really appreciate it, April. Thank you for the kind words. Yeah, every now and again you're gonna get some guy that just wants to share his misery with everybody else, and that's part of being in social media, is having to deal with the good, the bad, and the ugly. But it says a lot. First off, that was the only seriously negative comment that I've ever got from somebody who's actively traded the information. Every negative comment I've gotten other than that has been from somebody who didn't even bother to look at the information. It was so obvious because they just didn't look, and they're like, oh, fuck you, shut up, you don't know anything like the rest of us, excuse my French. But it's saying something that was the only one, and if it was smoke and mirrors, we wouldn't have everybody that becomes a customer remain a customer as a repeat customer. We don't lose customers, guys. There's a reason why people pay monthly for sales or for trade information, and really to support the channel. Whoa. 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 Hey Carolyn, hey Tabraze. I'm sorry. Hey, do you think SMCI goes more higher from here?
Is that right?
SMCI.
There we go. Why it's not in candlestick form, no idea. Oof. Look at that chart, guys. You want to be very careful about this gap. Gaps are almost always filled. It's pretty standard in technical analysis to rely upon. How long you would have to hold the short position is up for debate. You don't know, but what you do know for the most part is that gap is going to get filled at some point. We're also at the upper end of RSI. We were already in oversold, so we're probably topping out here. It might go higher from here, but we're around the top. It looks like we're coming up on resistance, and then we should see a decline relatively soon. So I would say if you're in this on the long end, you probably want to close out around these levels. Wow. It could go a little higher, but I mean, if you got in and you have a serious profit, I would take it. A bird in hand is worth two in the bush.
You're welcome, Karthikeya Mamidi. Hopefully I'm not butchering that. I'm trying. You wonder what's going on around July 21st and 30th? Robert, do you mean with SPY? July 21st and 30th.
Oh, July. July monthly doesn't drop until the 21st of this month, guys. If you're on the free mailing list, you've already received it. Or sorry, if you have early access on our website for $29 a month, you already have had access to it. Like Robert's talking about the July reading because he's already seen it. If you're on the free mailing list, you don't want to pay for early access, which is only $29 a month, guys. You do it here. It's a great way to support the channel. TarotForTraders.com. Under Eso-Meta, our services, Eso-Meta posts. Click here to subscribe. $29 a month gets you early access to everything that's basically posts about a month later on average. Posts about a month later on YouTube. So let's take a look. July 21st. This was a difficult one. I remember this was a difficult one for me to determine the high. The high might actually be here on the 26th and not on the 31st. It's possible. It's hard to say. But there's a big move, right, from a low here on the 21st into a high somewhere around the later part of this week. It's possible it's got something to do with economics based on the Princess of Discs, which sometimes that'll appear when you have like really important economic data that moves the markets significantly, like on a multi-day scale. You'll see it here. Yeah, with the US dollar. Did I say something with the US dollar in my reading? I mean, I do so many, I couldn't tell you. I'm in a different state of mind when I speak that stuff into existence. Do I reckon June 12th is a good day to pick up MGM? So Carolyn, just for your info, we did discontinue the monthlies for MGM, so don't get caught off guard when one doesn't come out in July. But if you wanted to do, right, that's May. The question is, June 12th, a good day to pick up MGM, June 12th. Based on what I'm seeing there, yes. Let me look at the 1 year. Oh yeah, that's looking like a pretty significant opportunity. I recommend that, yeah. I recommend on the 12th opening up a long position there. This one was a strange reading too. Oh hey Avi, I just scrolled up and I saw you here. Avi's got the badge next to his name because he's actually a subscriber of the chat here. FYI, if you guys are wondering what that little badge is about, he's my original OG as far as paying a little subscription for through YouTube. It's kind of like a backup to have some like income coming through YouTube in case we lose like our ability to take subscriptions or something like that happens again. We'll still have income coming through YouTube. But I prioritize these guys. So AV, I'll come back to everybody I skipped. I saw your older MNMD video. Do you think that and SEEL will come back this year? Do you have a price level that you you'd want to see it come back to. Appreciate it, Carolyn. Carolyn's also somebody that throws donations pretty regularly through the YouTube, which is also much appreciated. SEE come back. It looks, I got a pretty big move to the upside. So the Lust card, I don't know if this is going to pick up on with the green screen issue, but the Lust card is a significant move higher, almost irrational move to the upside, reaching for a distant resistance. So there'll be a resistance that we pass through, at least one notable resistance, to meet the resistance that this card is speaking of. It's a distant resistance, not the next one, right? So a big move to the upside. I'd say that's a pretty strong affirmative. That was for SEEL. MNMD, I've got. Let's take a look at my 10. Oh, Interesting. So this decline, any decline in MNMD, any decline this year would be opportunity before we see a crest or peak in 2024 or 2025, followed by a pretty notable decline to low. Overall, it is looking bullish this year, with like the biggest high probably here in 2026, or possibly even the Aeon card could be pushing the upper end of that range higher, successfully turning support into, or resistance into new support on a multi-year scale here in 2028, 2029. Do I reckon it's going to come back? Based on the 10-year, it looks like this, like it is. It's definitely coming back. Although I'm getting pretty bearish cards, so I'd say that it's got lower to go before we see it turn around and come and go higher. Can SEEL do 2 to 3 times? That's a big yes. Princess of Wands is a yes. Alright. And then Carolyn. ADBE, bullish in coming days. ADBE. I got Claire Kinetics for that. Bearish, very bearish. A decline that increases with momentum moving forward in time. So that's a big. That was Claire Kinetics. Let me do yes or no and see what happens. Claire Kinetics is super reliable though. Alright, let me scroll back up to where we left off. Conrad, okay, 427, 428 for are we staying above 427, 428 on SPY over Friday and early next week, or do you think we'll dip eventually? I think next week we dip pretty significantly. Bust out another chart here. Yeah, see, we were just talking about gaps, and there's a notable gap right here. So we probably fill that gap next week. We might even fill it on Monday morning. Well, here's the thing. My sense is that we've already seen the lowest low, and so far that's holding true, right? So with that said, most likely, if we're going to fill that gap, it'll be by the end of the week, not necessarily Monday morning. It could be, but I think probably not. It's probably going to be on the 16th, the 14th, or the 16th, because I think the 14th is probably the same price level low as the 12th. The 16th, however, could be lower. Um, although the placement of this ruin is not the most reliable as well. So 427. Oh yeah, yeah. I think we see lower than 427. Um, Not necessarily on Friday though, but maybe Monday. It's possible Monday. If not Monday, it'll happen during the week. Hey, Deja Vu, welcome. Appreciate the support. Thank you. Thank you for the kind words and the support, my friend. Hey, Proof. Appreciate you too, my friend. Is the last week of June going to be good entry for SPC swing for months? I mean, on this chart, the best entry point was there on the first. Well, matter of fact, let me make sure I'm not confusing myself with SPY. Sometimes I do that, so let me open up the chart real quick. All right, so swing for months. Let's take a look at the 1 year real quick. I mean, I would definitely want to be in a bullish position on SPC, especially moving into July. July's looking super bullish. So the last week, I mean, it's really hard to say, to recommend there because we've got high correlations there at the end of the week. But there might be an opportunity here on the 26th. There might be a good opportunity here on the 26th. I mean, I'm not saying the 20th and the 21st aren't good opportunities. It's just I'm not getting a trade correlation here. So something may be off. The lows may end up being here on the 26th. But my sense is that probably on the 26th we have I would say I would look for an opportunity on the 26th if it happens. But I don't see any really comfortable locations being advised to get in on the long side other than definitively here on the first. Deja Vu, would it be possible to start covering NASDAQ 100 or NQ futures? So I can't do that like regularly, Deja Vu. It's just too much work. The amount of work that it takes to do it. I can only really pick one, and I've been doing SPY for so long. But what I could do this is one of our premium services. It's probably our most expensive service, but we do offer 1 month consecutive daily posts. currently going for 2100. All of the Ethereum dailies that are out for the month of June were privately sponsored through this one service by one of our loyal followers here, subscribers. So that is, if you wanted to see something like that, that's how you would order it, and then that would guarantee that I get it done. But other than that, it's just so much work. It doesn't make sense for me to do it, unfortunately. Will Apple see 175 next week? Hey, Angfin. 175 next week. When's a good time to short it? I can say happily that we're going to start covering Apple. We start covering Apple in July. I don't know if it's come out. The July prediction has come out yet, but if it hasn't, scheduled to release relatively soon. Where's the Apple? Okay, here. What I could do, oof, look at that, yikes. That was just out of nowhere crazy. What was that? Was that on SPY? Did you guys see that bar? We're already in the post market, I didn't realize. Okay, so for Apple, year to date, I would look to short Apple in September, around September's high, which should be probably towards maybe at the end of August, like on the cusp of August, September, is where I would look to short Apple. But I wouldn't necessarily do it just yet. We've got rally into July, and it looks like early July. Matter of fact, actually, it looks like late July is where the high is for the month of July. I'd probably avoid shorting Apple. I don't recommend. Is my sound better now, guys? Sorry, I just like moved everything around and like reconstructed my studio when I got back from New York, so it's a lot nicer for me to work in, but I forgot to move my mic. Does that sound better? So, Angfin, will it see 175 next week? I mean, it's possible it'll see 175 next week. Let's see. That's a no. I got a no for that. You're welcome to Braze. Appreciate Robert letting me know about the sound. Angfin, is Neo good for a swing long now until when? Appreciate the subscription, Angfin. Your support goes a long way for us, so much appreciation. We need to generate about $2,000 more a month in like recurring income for the business for us to be able to breathe and sleep soundly at night. We need about $2,000 more in monthly subscriptions. So if you've been thinking about doing that, guys, matter of fact, before I get into that, one of the our most popular services are the paid versions of the monthlies, which you get here at our services, Eso-Meta posts on our website, tarotfortraders.com. Monthly subscription, it's the second one on the list. And you can basically subscribe to any of these tickers. It's $111 per month. We've never had somebody like cancel out of like us sucking at it. We're not right all the time. Some pieces we get wrong here and there, but what you subscribe for here is all of the best trades that we see, what to look for, when to place them, kind of that we see for the month. And then if you wanted access to all of the paid versions, there's a $250 subscription, which is a super steal considering each one of these singular ones is $111. Really, really awesome way to support the channel. We recognize the names of everybody that does that, because you guys are the reason why we're still here being able to do that. Without you guys, the channel would have shut down already, that's for sure. I can say that without a doubt. So my much love and appreciation goes out to you guys for allowing us to keep doing this. Okay, so for Neo, I'm going to pull a card, a yes or no for is it a good swing trade for a long now, and then I'm going to pull a card for a date of when to exit. I got a yes for opening up a long position, and let's get a date as far as when you would want to close that position. The Four of Discs, which if you guys aren't aware, you can go to tarot cards on our website, Tarot for Traders, and it gives you like detailed description of the information that we've compiled from thousands of S&P 500 one-day readings by the hour. So the Four of Discs, for instance, some of the information there is timing. So we have January 1st to January 19th. So probably it's either January 1st to January 19th of this coming year, 2024, or I'd say it's 4 years from now, one of the two. SICP, please. Karthikeya Mamidi. Is there something that's specific you want to know about it, or you just want me to pull like an overall card for its energy, its overall energy? Overall energy, pretty wild actually. Prince of Discs, or excuse me, Prince of Swords. But let me know if there's something more specific you want to know about SICP. Tabriz, just wanted to add here, the July reading is not written like all previous readings. Or will it be there in the future, like trades given to with weekly, daily stuff? Yeah, the written stuff will. We have somebody that's trailing behind. We have limited hours. Like I said, we still need about $2,000 a month to really cover all of the expenses of the business and sleep soundly at night. But one of those people, we have a team member named Sarah. She's really great. She's my everything assistant, and really, she does all of the transcription. But she trails behind me, so we post them as soon as we can. That way, that early access has them as soon as possible, and then she comes through and she adds the writing later on. So it's really dependent on how far along she is. Carolyn, ADBE, bullish in coming days. I just saw this one, my apologies. ADBE, bullish in coming days. Or did I answer that already? I think I did answer that one. I did answer that one. If I didn't answer that one, let me know. I'm pretty sure I answered that one. Miradula Mishra, hey, hi, volume is a little low even with earphones on. Interesting. Is this better? Can make it a lot louder, but it picks up background noise too in New York City. Hopefully that's better. Will SoFi continue its bullish move? Yes or no? That's a yes. SoFi will go higher. Vino Priya Vino Hini. I really hope I pronounced that correctly for you. Welcome. As per daily S&P 500, shall we expect big drop overnight? It's either overnight or it's going to happen first thing in the morning. I was starting to pick up. It was one of the first things we were talking about on the live. I was starting to pick up on. I might have had a discrepancy here where I think we might open higher. But either way, there should be a sharp drop around the open. If we don't open higher, we gap down lower. Great. If we don't, there should be a drop here from a crest or peak here first thing in the morning. But the big drop, the real big drop, I think is probably over the weekend. Vino Priya. You're welcome, Conrad. So, yeah, tomorrow it's either gap down or there'll be a drop. I think it's probably we open higher with a drop. Carolyn, do you reckon June 8th or 9th good time to go long on gold? Do I reckon June 8th or 9th good time to go long on gold? I'd probably wait until the 11th to go long on gold. Yeah, I'd wait until the 11th probably to go long on gold. Looking at this, that Ace of Cups is looking juicy. A lot more definitive as a good idea here in the midst of a decline on the 10th. Robert, I'm ordering the 2024 reading tonight on CRO. Awesome, my friend. Appreciate it. What Robert's talking about, he regularly orders this service here. Our services, Eso-Meta posts. This is one of the ways that you could get your ticker crypto covered by the channel really fast, because we do have a long list of requests for free stuff, and we get to all that. But I mean, the list just keeps getting longer and longer. 1 year. 1 year subscription. Okay, so this is wrong. This isn't a subscription. So I'll have to make sure that that's changed. It's not a subscription. It's a 1 year reading. But we changed the word subscription here because just in case Stripe audits our website and they decide we're like high risk and they take away our ability to do subscriptions again, that would really suck. It would really destroy the business. So we put that word there, but we're going to have to change that because it's not a subscription. In any case, you pick the year and you put in the ticker crypto symbol, add to cart, and that'll get you, I think the turnaround there is within 2 weeks. Usually it's a lot sooner than that, but within a 2 week period, you get a 1 year with the paid version, the best trades that we see. In a 1 year, this is an example of a 1 year where we do a cluster for each month and we indicate where the highest high and lowest low for the year are, trade opportunities, stuff like that. So that's one of the ways you can get your ticker covered. Appreciate it, Robert. Appreciate you letting me know about the sound, Mirdula. You're welcome to Braze. You're welcome, Mirdula. Just saw this one, AV1111. I'm sorry, it's because at the very bottom I missed it. SICP is down from 20 plus to $1. Can it get back to two to four this year? $2 to $4. SICP, yes or no? Will it reach $2? Yes. Will it reach $4? Will it let me clarify. Will it reach $2 in this year? Yes. Will it reach $4 this year? No. Will it reach $3? Yes. Looks like it goes to $3 this year, but it does reach $4, just not this year. All right, guys, that's it for today. I'm gonna roll. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Much appreciation, much love goes out to all you guys for supporting the channel. Tesla tomorrow, big drop. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like a pretty notable drop tomorrow, and another drop on the 12th. All right, guys, with that said, you're welcome, AV. Make sure to follow that rule of karma. It's one of the most important ways to support your channel, and it's really the whole purpose of the channel is to take some of that competitive energy to the stock market and put it to good use and goodwill. And you do that through the resources tab of our website, Tarot for Traders. If you're new, guys, this is super, super important. It's an unwritten law of the channel. And really, if you plan to continue profiting from this information, you're going to want to follow this rule regularly. We ask that you take 5% of the profits that you make from this information and you donate it forward to one of these charities. That guarantees you have abundance mentality, which is necessary to manifest wealth. And then we ask that you take 5% of the profits that you make from this information and you donate it back to the channel here at one of these different links. The Wise app is a way that you can follow the 5% rule of karma if you're international. Wise app is available for use. But any of these are good, and that leaves you at 90%. The final part of that rule of karma is make sure you spend that 90% out of love. As long as you do that, the universe is going to send it back to you tenfold through this channel, my friends. Billy Scott, when a card is drawn reverse, for me personally, because there's so much directional nature to the Eso-Meta analysis system when predicting chart patterns, I decided that inverted cards would not change the meaning. What an inverted card for me means in Eso-Meta analysis is that I should pay special attention to that period, whatever that card is representing. Like if it represents the second of a month, like I want to pay special attention to the second. If it represents the high, I want to pay special attention to the high, But some people do go by the opposite meaning of what's in the book. Me personally, when I first started, I was making it very relevant what direction the card was facing, but I chose to remove that aspect from the system because it makes it much more confusing. You're welcome, Billy Scott. It's a great question. He's talking about the book. Much appreciation for your support, Billy. He's talking about the book, which you can get on Amazon's Kindle. Or I think they even make a hard copy if you want a hard copy, but you can get it there. You can also get it here at our shop, along with the cards, and we have a special deal if you get the cards and the book together. But the Tarot for Traders book has all the information that's here in the tarot card interpretations plus some, and it's also been updated. We do have a new version that'll be out probably in 2024 with some more updates. But everybody that's purchased the original version will get a link to that updated version free of charge as a thank you for being one of the early supporters to the channel. With that said, guys, much love goes out.